I'm LaShonda Milner.
I'm Christina Howell. This is Fcso 34 News,
The Week in Review. Now for our news in the spotlight.
On Monday evening, we were dispatched to a call in the Walkertown area where someone had been stabbed. Deputies located the victim unconscious and face up in a driveway on Canewood Court. They immediately attempted life-saving measures until Forsyth County Emergency Services arrived. Through further investigation, it was found that the stabbing occurred on Effie Lane, where the victim was in an altercation with another individual. The suspect fled the scene before we arrived, but witnesses were able to provide a detailed description. The victim was identified as David Matthew Stiers, and he was declared deceased on scene by EMS. Stanley Evan Baker of Winston-Salem was arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter. He is currently confined to the Forsyth County Law Enforcement Detention Center with no bond allowed. On Tuesday, a traffic stop led to trafficking charges. A deputy on patrol saw a green truck run a red light. He initiated a traffic stop and during the course of the stop realized that the truck was stolen out of Forsyth County. Upon establishing probable cause, he searched the vehicle and located a crystal-like substance. It turned out to be almost a half pound of methamphetamine. John Sherman Westmoreland was arrested for an outstanding order for arrest, plus charged with 2 counts of trafficking meth, PWISD of meth, and possession of a stolen vehicle. We've collaborated with the Forsyth Reentry Council, Community Corrections, and local faith communities to provide care bags to each resident leaving the detention center. Bags include items to assist the individuals as they return to society and include things like snacks, hygiene items, and gift cards for food. Each bag also contains a folder of contact information for resources in our community, including housing, transportation, food assistance, and mental health services. Multiple community donors have given items for the bags, including Pinedale Church of Christ, Good Samaritan Ministries, Union Baptist Church, and He Speaks Ministries at Greater Galilee Church. On Wednesday, a deputy attempted a traffic stop for careless and reckless driving. The driver refused to stop, resulting in a pursuit. The pursuit went through Rural Hall, into Stokes County, and the back end of Forsyth County. The driver reached speeds of 120 miles per hour before wrecking on East Wall Street off of Broad Street. The vehicle immediately caught fire, and both the driver and passenger immediately jumped and ran. We utilized Canine Bruno to start a track, then Canine Rex picked it up when Canine Bruno became exhausted. We utilized our canine GPS trackers to ensure we not only knew where our canines were, but were able to move our perimeter accordingly. Canine Rex located the driver and he was taken into custody. We then used one of the agency drones, as well as the Louisville Fire Department drone, and their FLIR capabilities to continue searching for the passenger after dark. Jeremy Dwayne Kite had outstanding orders for arrest for parole violations, including misdemeanor larceny and interference with electronic monitoring. He was also charged with felony flee to elude, resisting arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, and improper registration. He is currently confined to the detention center with bond secured in the amount of $9,000. Megan Dudley Hutchins of Winston-Salem has been charged with resisting arrest. More charges are forthcoming. Also on Wednesday night, a deputy in the Woodbriar Path area heard gunshots. He quickly located the victim, who was later identified as Vanessa Rose Mosley. She was transported by Forsyth County Emergency Services with life-threatening injuries. Investigation determined that there was a disturbance that led to the shooting. The investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information should call our non-emergency number or Crime Stoppers. You may remain anonymous. County residents are receiving a mailing advertising a fundraiser for police and sheriff's emergency equipment drive. If you decide to make a donation, please note that the monies do not go to local law enforcement agencies, even though it appears that they do. As with any donation you make, we encourage you to research the nonprofit and make sure that your monies are going to support the causes that you care about.
Corporal Moore will connect us to our community.
I've got 3 important events I'd like to share with you coming up next week. First, on October 26th, that's Monday at 10:30 a.m., we're going to be up on Pinnacle Bank on Harvey Street at South Stratford Road. Why are we going to be there on the roof? We're not doing a stakeout. We're going to be there to share with you our need for a 100 bin challenge for crisis control ministry. We're going to be finishing up this week with that great community event you guys have been helping us with by collecting 3,000 pounds of food so we can come down off the roof. So come out at 10:30 or anytime during the day and get me off the roof. The second thing I'd like to talk to you about is that we're going to be giving away that truck, that 2020 Chevy Silverado 4x4 crew cab truck. Raffle tickets are only $100 a piece. I've got mine. Come out to the bank, pick up one of those tickets. We really want to give away that truck. The next event, Battle of the Badges. It's coming up October 31st, Saturday at 9 a.m. That will be at David F. Couch Ballpark, 401 Deacon Boulevard, Winston-Salem. Greensboro Police Department, Winston-Salem Police Department, Winston-Salem Fire Department, and your own Forsyth County Sheriff's Office will be playing in a softball tournament. So come out and watch us play. Admission is only 3 non-perishable food items per individual. We will be practicing social distancing. It's a large park. We've got plenty of room. Come on out. Also on October 31st, we're going to be having a public safety drive-through fall festival from 2 to 4 at Galilee Missionary Baptist Church. The address is 4129 North Hampton Drive here in the city. This is going to be a great event. I know Halloween's been canceled, but we're going to be giving out candy to all you children who come out. There's a couple things you need to know in order to obtain the free candy. First of all, vehicle displays will be there from the police department and the sheriff's office for everybody to come and enjoy. It'll be drive-through only, no walkers. We will be practicing all the social distancing, all the safety measures so we can give out the candy safely to you kids. So remember, it's only from 2 to 4 p.m. Hope to see you there. You guys have a great week.
LaShonda visits the Summers family at home to check in with Deputy Summers and discuss his recovery progress so far.
It's now a month since Deputy Wesley Summers experienced his car crash while responding to a Code 1 call. Deputy Summers and Mrs. Summers have now managed to maintain their new norm.
Well, honestly, day 2 was really a rough day because after surgery, I think I was in more pain the day after surgery than I was the day of the car accident. So I went from a lot of pain from that, and then I slowly started to gain movement back in my fingers and my leg, or my right leg that I broke the hip in. Basically, I can do some stuff for myself now. I can feed myself. I can get in and out the bed, in and out my wheelchair. I can get to the couch. I can go to the bathroom.
It's just been a lot with adjusting to our temporary new norm, having to figure out what our new schedule is. Daily, our schedule shifts because we have, doctor's appointments, OT appointments that are actually our first OT appointment is tomorrow, outpatient OT appointment. Just trying to figure out, grocery shopping, this time to do things of that nature. It's just trying to figure out better ways of time management.
Deputy Summers was overwhelmed with joy to see his Fcso family.
It was actually amazing and very heartfelt, and then it showed that people care. Because when you go through something like this, you people care for you, but you don't really know how much people care until you actually see something like that.
I asked Deputy Summers and Mrs. Summers their new look on life.
One thing I know, my wife's not gonna let me drive fast on my days off no more. So I was trying to get a nice sports car. I'm pretty sure she's not gonna condone that one. She's not gonna condone me driving a motorcycle anymore. So it's one of those but it just shows that I think just sitting in rehab, watching other people recover, you don't realize how many people actually hurt.
It's really about just being so appreciative of every second, every moment, because you don't know when a person walks out the door, how life can change so quickly. And that's just my biggest thing, just always making sure that I'm attentive, even more attentive, emotionally, mentally, physically present in every moment, every day, because you just don't know how things could change at the drop of a dime.
Deputy Summers is in great spirits. We continue to wish him speedy recovery. Several programs have been formed under the leadership of Sheriff Kimbrough. Community Court Services' mission is to foster self-reliance amongst those that have been involved in the criminal justice system. Christina's visit will share the real stories and details on how this program has benefited many.
Community Court Services started as a program for court-referred individuals. We've expanded the program and now offer services to all community members in need of assistance. I sat down with Corporal Adams to discuss her role and the services offered.
It's not just finding a job, it's actually finding out what's the stepping stone for a person that has been involved in the criminal justice system. What's the reason why you don't have a job? Is it your education? Is it that you don't have transportation? So we help with all those areas.
But to Corporal Adams and the other officers at Community Court Services, it's more than just checking a box and finding a job for people.
We want to see positive things that come out, not just to find a job, but we want you to be able to enjoy the job that you do. So that's why we can work with a company to see what's your education, what's your experience.
After more than 20 years as a detention officer, this role is especially meaningful to Corporal Adams.
We want them to remember us as they helped us. They care. They believe in you. Because we not only just officers, we are counselors, we are mentors. We continue to follow up with just not getting them a job, just making sure how are they feeling.
And as with anything, some individuals need a little more assistance than others.
Some we do have to hold hands, but that's okay, because them knowing that we're there for them make them want to do it more. Or they don't have to prove it to us, they have to prove it to themselves that they can do what they was asked to do.
If you or someone you know could benefit from Community Court Services, visit the website to learn more.
Rehabilitation is believing in yourself too and following the steps that you were asked to take. And that's the difference between Goodwill or DSS. They don't follow up like we do.
We've got to try to become greater. We've got to try to love more. We've got to try to move the distance that has set us apart. We've got to try to communicate to one another. We've got to try to encompass all of us. We must never forget the power of we. So we must continue to try. We must continue to do our parts as individuals. As always, we can and we will.
Thank you for joining us on Fcso 34 News, The Week in Review. Truth, transparency,
and understanding.